stock do you guys put in like top 205, you know, the Adidas tryouts, Free State tryouts, Under Armour tryouts, as opposed to, I have a lot of players that are constantly coming up to me and saying, well, I got 205, so it's either I need to go to 205 or I can go to the King of the Hill 20. Or I can go to, I'm already signed up for 205, but I'm going to miss the MVP tournament or whatever, or even like one of the prospect camps that you guys are talking about. Like, is there one thing that's more important than the other? Anyone that would like to take that question?
For me, from an evaluation standpoint, I think there's merit to all the events that go on, whether it be a camp like 205, Maverick Showcase, Jake Reed's. The one critique I have on those events is you're not playing with kids that you know. You know, you meet them that day, and you don't really know what team you're going to be on, and you just, you know, you're an attackman and you like to play behind, and you're comfortable at X, and all of a sudden there's another kid there, and he just goes there, and then all of a sudden you're stuck on the wing, and you haven't played there that much, and you could show pretty bad. And there are kids that I have liked a lot playing for their club team, and then I've seen them at some of these events, and they don't really stick out as much, and I know they're pretty good, but if the other coaches that are sitting on the sideline didn't see him at the event I saw him playing with this club team, they might just think he's average and kind of write him off. So I do think there's some merit to being with a team that you're comfortable with, and with coaches that you're comfortable with, and players that you know how to play with. And that will probably showcase your abilities the best. But you can evaluate at those at like top 205 or any of those camps. Coaches will still be able to evaluate athleticism and effort, and those are two things that we've talked that everyone's been really consistent on as well. So there's merit to those.
I think the other thing to emphasize what Ryan said is that I think both of them are good venues to evaluate. The one thing that I mentioned about with the individual camps is sometimes with club teams and high school teams, your coach puts you in a position that says, hey, you got to be a D-midi. And it's kind of hard for a coach maybe to evaluate you as an offensive guy if you never get to play offense. Or, you know, a lot of times in club teams, they have an offensive system. So their offensive system doesn't allow attacking to dodge or doesn't allow middies to dodge. So as a defenseman, you might never see a dodger unless you go to a camp where someone's going to say, screw it, I'm going to take it for myself, I'm going to go to the goal, so now someone has to defend somebody. So I think, as Ryan said, going to both types of camps is very important during the summer because it allows coaches possibly see you in two different lights.